My name's Heather and this is Knitting in the Shire. This is my knitting podcast where I basically just talk to you about knitting, sometimes spinning, sometimes other crafts, but mostly just knitting because that's my passion, my love. I've been watching, I don't know about if you're in the UK, you've maybe been watching the Game of Rule. And I just thought, I haven't posted for a very long time. Not many people were watching my channel. I do see podcasters quite often where they post one video and they get thousands and thousands of views. So I'm not really sure what the secret is to that. But I just enjoy talking about knitting. I don't have many fellow knitters in my real life. So it's just nice actually to just talk about my knitting, and even if only 5 people watch this, that would be nice to share it with someone. So if you are watching this and you do watch it to the end, I would really value comments and likes, and I'd really like to, even if it's a tiny little community, I would love to talk to people about knitting. I'd love to have advice and ideas and questions and all that sort of thing. And I guess the beauty of not having a podcast that just blows up to thousands and thousands of viewers is that I will be very able to respond to comments and questions and sort of engage with people. So yes, I'd be really grateful if anyone who's watching has anything to say, please do. So today I'm going to start with finished objects. Obviously I've got quite a few because it's been such a long time and since I last tried podcasting that I actually have quite a few finished objects. I'm also going to talk to you, it's really cold, so I'm in Yorkshire in Scotland, so I'm in a little coastal town next to the sea in Scotland, and it's November and it is freezing, it is frosty and so cold, especially today. So I've been digging out a lot of my previous knits and I thought I would show you some of the ones that I consistently wear in cold weather, because I can highly recommend them as patterns, knowing that year upon year I dig these out in the winter and they really see me through. So, but I'm going to start with what I'm wearing. My last podcast video, I did a knit with me video. I think that was the worst video I did. I don't think that did very well at all. But I was knitting on this jumper. So this jumper is called Still by Kim Hargreaves, and it's kind of based on a 1940s pattern, and I can show you in the book. I've got the book here already. So this is the book that I used, and this is pictures of the pattern as she did it. It's actually meant to be knitted in cotton, but this is West Yorkshire Spinners Elements DK. It's a DK weight jumper pattern, and I wrote down some notes this time to keep me right. So this is in the colour French Lavender, that's number 1144, and so this West Yorkshire Spinners Elements DK consists of 60% Tencel lyocell and 40% Falkland wool. So I'll show you the jumper first. It's quite hard to show you on here, but this is the jumper as I knitted it up. It's knitted in the flat and seamed together. I always find that jumpers knitted that way just fit me so much better than ones knitted in the round. I'd be really interested to hear what people think about that, because for me, I think it's to do with my body shape. I can tailor jumpers a lot more easily when I knit them flat and seam them together. I find that jumpers knitted in the round, they tend to be, they just sit on me like sacks quite often, not always, but quite often. They just don't flatter my body shape at all. I'm also very petite, so I don't know if that plays a part. So yeah, I'd be interested in your thoughts on that. I prefer knitting in the round, don't get me wrong. So much more enjoyable as a process knit to knit in the round. I don't particularly enjoy purling. There's a lot more shaping, so this had a lot of shaping in the waist and things like that, a lot of shaping going on, which obviously means you have to concentrate a bit harder, but the final product I just like a lot better. So I love the jumper so much. I love this French lavender colour. I'll kind of come up a bit closer to the camera again so that you can see the actual jumper and the wool. But what I do want to show you, and I hope the camera picks this up, because this is my one and only criticism, I think the word is. I don't know if you can see, but it is really bobbly, particularly under the arms. Now, I've only worn this 4 times, and it is so bobbly, and I have debobbled. Oh, you can see where my seam's coming. I didn't seam that up very well. But the wool is beautiful. It's got this lovely sheen on it. It's a beautiful colour. It's very comfortable to wear. It did kind of loosen up a little bit, so I knitted the smallest size, and it stretched out a little bit, but not in a way that's bad or anything. Like, for example, the cuffs were quite tight to my wrist and now they're a bit baggy, but I don't mind that. But the bobbling, it is so disappointing, because so the second time I wore this jumper, I wore it to work and it just looked so bobbly. It looked kind of old and worn, and that was just very disappointing. You can debobble it, but it bobbles really quickly, so I can debobble it in the morning, and by the time I'm coming home from work, it's bobbly again. So I would say that it's a beautiful wool. I think I would use it again, but I would hold it with a strand of mohair. I don't know the mechanics of things like that, but I find that wools that bobble like this one, when you hold them with a strand of mohair, quite often that helps. That kind of stops that from happening, but it's just really disappointing. I find that, like, I wore it to work for a meeting that I wanted to look smart in, and you know, I just didn't feel smart. I think the jumper pattern, I think this is a lovely smart jumper that Kim Hargreaves designed. I don't know if I mentioned that this was Kim Hargreaves. Hopefully you saw that on the cover. But the wool just lets it down. The yarn is, yeah. So that's my review of West Yorkshire Spinners Elements DK. It's beautiful. It's got a lovely sheen. It's very drapey. Kind of stretches a little bit. I saw, it's interesting because I saw a lot of people who said that when they washed the garment it shrunk when they used this yarn, but I have found the opposite. I found it loosened up quite a bit, but then I washed it in very cool water with a very gentle sort of detergent, sort of, you know, and I actually found it loosened up a little bit. So I think if you were knitting something that you needed it to be a very drapey sort of material, I think this would be a really good choice, but it bobbles. I really hope the camera's picking it up. I should stop showing you that little bit of seam, because when I seamed this, I was trying really hard to minimize the bulk of the seam, so I was going right in at the edge, and I keep meaning to fix that, because that's literally just where I haven't caught it very well, so I can fix that easily. But I should stop showing you that, and I should show you this side instead, where you can just see really just, I don't know if you can see it, I hope so. I've got my Chewbacca behind me today. Yeah, I hope that it's picking up. I hope you can see that. It's just so disappointing. I have a terrible fringe today. I cut my own fringe and it's not looking very good today. So I love the jumper, and I've actually started knitting it in pure mohair. I'm going to show you that when I get to my works in progress. I love the pattern so much that I intend to knit several versions of this in different yarns, and I'm going to talk you through what knitting this one has kind of led me to do with the pattern going forward. So this is my first finished object, still by Kim Hargreaves, and I got the pattern from the book Thrown Together, which I bought from eBay. Now, my next finished object, the one that I knitted and finished, because I've been knitting so many things, but the next ones that I finished after this, it's just a pair of chunky socks. And again, it is so cold here. These are just amazing for kicking about the house. These I knitted in Jamieson's of Shetland Heather Aden weight yarn. Is it Aden weight? They call it chunky. No, it's Shetland marl. Sorry, it's up from the Heather Aden weight. This is the Shetland marl weight. You use 6mm needles, and what I did was I looked up patterns online for just basic chunky socks, and I've written down again. So these are Basic Chunky Socks by Caroline Montague. You'll find the pattern on Ravelry. It's a free pattern. It's not bad at all. These socks are totally wearable. They're really comfy, lovely, chunky. I should show you the yarn. This is in the colourway Oceanic. How beautiful is that colour? I love it. Shetland, Jamieson's of Shetland and Shetland wool, my favourite. I love knitting in this. You'll see, I'm going to show you a few projects. Some of them are in this yarn because I just love it so much. The pattern had a few, I don't want to call it errors, but things that didn't really make sense. It might be because the pattern was written for double pointed needles and I was using magic loop, but I had to do a little bit of problem solving, but not much. It was totally fine because I've knitted so many socks before. I keep trying to fix my French. I hope that's not annoying. Because I've knitted quite a few socks now, I kind of knew how to do it, so it wasn't a problem for me. If you've never knitted a pair of socks before, chunky socks are a good way to go, but maybe not this pattern. I would maybe not go for a free pattern because first of all, it's only in one size. So there's no small, medium, large. There's just, cast on 24 stitches and whatever. So I cast on 24 stitches and very quickly thought, I don't think this is going to work. So I changed all the stitch counts and things. So if you've never knitted a pair of socks before and you're thinking these would be a nice, simple, easy choice, they are in a way, but unless you fit exactly what the person wrote, then probably not so much. But I love these. These are great little socks for around the house, especially in this really cold weather. I just wanted to show you another thing that I have been wearing. I can't remember if I already showed this on the podcast, but one of the first garments I ever knit was in Jamieson's of Shetland. Oh, one of my wee lights just went out. Jamieson's of Shetland's chunky marl in the colour broth, and I'm just going to give you a close-up of what that yarn looks like. It is stunning. Their colourways are all just so beautiful. I hope that's showing up okay, but it's really beautiful brown colour. It's called broth. And this is another Kim Hargreaves actually. I knitted this because Fruity Knitting, if you don't know Fruity Knitting, check it out. It's just about the best knitting podcast. It's 90 minutes long and it's just full. It is very, very high quality. It's nothing like this. It's very much a very polished, very helpful knitting podcast, so I highly recommend it. And Andrea from Fruity Knitting, she did this whole tutorial on how to knit the still. It's like a hooded jacket. I'll show you in a wee minute, and I'll insert photographs as well so that you can see photographs of me wearing it out and about. She does a tutorial where it's so generous. She shows you without giving away the pattern, so you have to buy the pattern. But once you've done that, she shows you everything from casting on, casting off, all the shaping, how to seam it together. It's so useful. You cannot go wrong. So because of her, I knitted my first garment because I thought she kind of holds your hand the whole way, and I love this thing. I'm going to put it on just now, but obviously the camera's quite close, so I don't know, it's not really going to show you all that well, but look at this thing. It is gorgeous, and it's like, let me show you if I can. I'll just stand on the sofa so you can see where it gets to. It is so cozy, so warm. It's that beautiful Shetland yarn, so it's kind of waterproof as well. So I have worn it out and about on a cold day and it started to drizzle, because again, I live in a Scottish coastal town and it pretty much smurs all the time. It's really dreich. But this is kind of water repellent because it's that pure wool. I mean, it is so beautiful, this. Now, the one thing that I did learn from this pattern, and I'll be able to show you it really clearly. I am very small. I say this in every podcast, but do you know, it makes a big difference with knitting patterns, and I don't think pattern writers, I think they're so size inclusive now. It's amazing, but see, if you're short, it brings these different, it's like a different thing. So because this is knitted in the flat again, I just followed the pattern exactly because I was quite a beginner when I knit this, so I had to do that. I had to just follow the pattern exactly and follow Andrea from Fruity Knitting, her tutorial. So you knit the arms. It's not like in knitting in the round, you pick up the stitches for the arms and you knit down. You knit the arms separately and you seam them. So I'm sure you'll all already know this, but you seam them. So you knit them flat and then you kind of inset the arm and you seam them. But look how long they are on me. That's how long they are. There I've got a wee bit of yarn, but so they're very long. It doesn't really bother me and I can turn them up easily and it actually looks quite nice. But that's they're not meant to have cuffs like that. They're not meant to be turned up like that. That is how much too long they are. I think the body as well is longer than it's meant to be in the pictures. It's completely fine. I don't mind at all. But I have found in quite a few things, I have to be mindful that I have shorter arms than most people and a shorter body, so a shorter torso than most people, and my waist. So when you do the waist shaping, my waist is in a different place as well because I've got such a short body. So this was one thing where I was like, wow, these arms are long, you know, quite a bit longer than they needed to be for me. So that was a good learning curve. I actually, when I knitted the jumper, let me show you the jumper, because again, I followed the pattern exactly for that. And it's not too bad. I don't know what you think. It's not too bad. They are a bit long. I think they're meant to be. This is probably the yarn though. I think it's meant to be more like that. From the photographs, more of a balloon sleeve. But that is because the West Yorkshire spinner's yarn just loosened up so much that the ribbing, it's this beautiful vertical ribbing. It's just so loose, and I feel like if it wasn't for that, these sleeves wouldn't be too long, but these are too long as well. So I don't really, it's kind of mathsy for me to work out, because when you knit in the flat, you do the shaping the whole way up the arm. It's that kind of hard for me to work that out. I've knitted in the round now, and it's much easier because you pick up the stitches and first of all you can see where you need to stop. You can keep trying it on for a start. You can see where you need to start decreasing. It is so much easier. So that's not so much of an issue when you knit in the round. So there are pros and cons to both, I think. I wanted to show you a couple of other things that I've been wearing a lot recently because of this cold weather, and then I'll move on to my works in progress. I can see I'm at 20 minutes. I wanted to keep this to half an hour or less, so I will try and be a bit quicker. So you can see that I do not weave in ends properly. This is the poncho. I forgot to write down the designer of this. This is another free pattern and it's one of the first things. I actually knit this one before I knit the Still by Kim Hargreaves because this was super easy. So this you knit in the round and it's just a poncho, but it is so cozy. I love a poncho. Oh, it's covered in fluff. I love a poncho because it's so good for just putting on when you're cold in the house. My house gets really cold really quickly and I can just sort of sling this on. It's so cozy. I will put in the description the designer, but I know it's called the poncho because I think because it's got a cowly sort of neckline. So I'm really keen. Amy Palco from the Meaningful Stitch, she used to have a YouTube podcast. She now does it purely on Patreon. She's really worth the look. She's another Scottish knitter. She's been designing ponchos. I really want to knit one of those. Hers are very beautiful. Because I just think they're so versatile ponchos. So easy to just slip on. I love them. So I just wanted this as a free pattern. It's kind of chunky wool. It was the first sort of garment. I don't really count it as a garment because it's not very fitted, but I got such a sense of achievement when I was able to wear this. It's not perfect. It's probably picking up on the camera. I'm not going to point out the mistakes, but I think the mistakes are fine. I don't mind. I love wearing it anyway. So. And just finally, the last sort of thing that I finished ages ago that I wanted to show you, I really should have fixed my fringe before filming, is Andrea Mowry's Moonwake cowl. I love it. It is such a beautiful pattern. It's just, oh, I'm not even holding that up to the camera. Look at that. So I didn't do, it's meant to be sort of twisted in a, can't remember what you call that, infinity sort of thing. I don't really like things like that. I wanted it to be a bit more upright. So again, this is one of the first colour works I ever did, so it's flawed, but I love it anyway, and I love the colours. And this is Jameson of Shetland Spindrift, and on my Ravelry page I've listed all the different colours that I used and I love them. And this is so cozy and warm, and I've knitted it so it's, you know, I can just put it over my head and just wear it like this. I absolutely love it. And just finally, the last one I want to show you, and this I do know that I've talked about before, and I'll just talk about it forever because it's just my favourite, one of my favourite cowl patterns ever. Talk about a feeling of achievement. When I knitted this beauty, I just was like, I can't believe I've knit that. I just felt so proud of it. It is one of my favourite patterns ever. I knitted a green one for my friend, and I talk about that in a previous podcast. I show you it in stages and I show you when it's finished, and I just think it's a beautiful thing to gift. I think it's a beautiful thing to wear. I've been wearing this a lot because of this freezing cold weather. It goes really well with this jumper actually, and so it's such a nice sort of fit. And you know, when you're really cold you can do that. And when I'm on the train, if there's someone sneezing away, which happens quite often, I can just sort of sit like that. So I love this cowl so much. I feel like I'm going to talk about it all the time. Amazing pattern. So this is by Hunt Hand Knits. You'll find her on Instagram and Ravelry. She does loads of colourwork cowl patterns and they are all stunning. Every single one of them. This is just my favourite because I've got a thing about owls. I just love it. Okay, how are we doing for time? 25 minutes. I'm going to really quickly, just because what I'm thinking is I'm going to post more often but shorter videos and just keep posting and see I'll improve hopefully as time goes by with my editing, my lighting, my sound, and that sort of thing. So I'm going to quickly show you a few things I'm working on. I am working on the Botanic Shawl by Stephen West. Stunning, stunning pattern that I just really enjoy knitting. I'm going to go a bit closer so you can see how it's kind of constructed. Love it. Highly recommend this pattern. I brought along one I made earlier because I have made this shawl 3 times now. This is a big beauty that I use like a blanket, or as Amy Palco calls it, a schlanket. And I love it. And I've been using this a lot when I'm sitting in the living room and it's getting a bit chilly. I can just put this on. It is beautiful. I love this pattern so much. So Stephen West Botanic Shawl. This was one of the first shawl patterns I ever tried. It is super easy but quite impressive looking and I absolutely love it. So I'm knitting another one in these beautiful pink colours. Pinks, purples and blues, bit of grey in there. I can talk more about this one in the next episode because I really am going to try and keep this episode short. I'm also knitting another version of this jumper and I'm knitting it in mohair. Because I just thought how nice would this jumper be in a lovely light mohair. Holding it up against myself, it's practically the same colour as my skin, so I don't know if it's actually going to look good or not, but that's me just started that one. And I am knitting a hat from Thrown Together because I actually thought let's knit something else from in there. So I am knitting the Robin hat. It's a kind of berry style with a pom-pom. I'm going to find the picture. I actually think the words are looking like they're coming up back to front on the screen, which is unfortunate. So that's what it's going to look like. And look at the size of the needles you knit it on. And you knit it in the flat, interestingly. Most hats are knitted in the round now. So I am doing some colour work because I just love a bit of colour work. This is going to take a long time. Look at these needles. Like at that. Is that going to focus? I don't know. 2¼ millimeter needles these are. So this is going to take a while. I'm using this and this for that hat, and this is the PS. This is the one I'm really working on at the moment. I am knitting a Christmas stocking for my boyfriend just now, and his name is Bunny. So I am kind of making this up as I go along, in the sense that the top I just did corrugated rib, I did some Latvian braids, I'm embroidering some things around the top, and then I am using the Bunny Wishes Socks pattern by Grey Owl Knits, just stealing the colour work pattern from that for the body. So there's a rabbit with, look at this, isn't it gorgeous? And it is going to have the bunny pattern sort of down the leg, and then it's going to have a green foot with a red heel and a red toe, and I think I might embroider some stuff on the foot as well. I'm not sure. I'm just kind of making that one up as I go. I'm enjoying knitting this like you wouldn't believe, and I actually think because I kind of made up the top, and I feel pretty confident with sock design now because I know how they're constructed. Look at the size of this thing. Um, I'm thinking I'm gonna design my own Christmas stocking for myself, and I'm just gonna use some graph paper. I'm going to sketch out some colour work, and I'm gonna design my own Christmas stocking because I think what fun. And I just feel like Christmas stockings, you never get second sock syndrome. It's such a lovely gift to give someone to fill it up with gifts. I just am really enjoying it. So my next episode, this will be finished because I obviously, so it's November, I need to get this finished in time for Christmas, and I'm almost exclusively knitting on this at the moment. So I'm pretty sure I'll be able to update you on this by the next episode. So I'm going to stop now because that's just over 30 minutes, and I decided I was going to do just a really quick update video. I don't know how people do them so precise. They show you so much in such a short space of time. But I just wanted to check in. I just was inspired again by the Game of Wool. The fact that people are talking about knitting and thinking about knitting. I just wanted to show you what I've been working on because I've been working away on so much. I'm going to just post more videos and just show you what I'm working on. I think over Christmas I might try a Vlogmas style thing as well. I should definitely make sure my hair looks better before I do these videos, but I'm not going to be too vain about it because then I'll never post anything because I'll always look a way that I don't want to. So I hope that was interesting. Let me know if you're interested in any of these patterns. If I was to recommend only one pattern from that whole array, it would definitely be the Stephen West Botanic shawl because it's such a joy to knit. Really simple, looks impressive, really warm, great shape. His patterns are all super fun. He is about process knitting and the output being something exciting and wonderful. The other things I would highly recommend, the ones that are easiest, this I will always hunt hand knits. I will Nouveau cowl. I will always be trying to get people to knit this because this is a joy. And the Andrea Mowry Moonwake cowl, that is a good one too. Some of the other ones I've mentioned you might struggle to find because Kim Hargreaves, you knit in the flat and it tends to be books and things. But if anyone's interested, I know where to find a lot of these. They tend to be Rowan. This one isn't actually, but a lot of Kim Hargreaves designs are through Rowan, so there are ways that you can get a hold of a lot of the patterns that she writes. They do tend to be knitted in the flat, and I know that that's not what people like to do nowadays, but I can recommend it if you want a really nice fitted piece. So that's it, a really quick update. I just wanted to check in. I wanted to do a video even just for myself so that I can see the things I've been working on. I also finished a half and half triangle shawl, but I think I talked about that and showed you that in my last video. If not, I can update that on the next one. So next installment I'm hoping will be start of December, and I will have a finished Christmas stocking to show you. I hope I will have done quite a bit more of the botanic shawl. And oh, the other thing, I am knitting something else. I don't really want to start talking about that, but I will talk about a jumper I'm knitting for my boyfriend called the Fergus. It's another Kim Hargreaves design. It's a big, chunky, beautiful jumper. I'm just going to show you a bit of the let me see that I've knitted the whole back so I can maybe show you that. It's a big gigantic one and it's Rowan biggie wool, so it's yeah, lovely. I can't wait to get that finished. I will talk about that in the next episode though because that's a really big project that I'm also working on. So you can see that I'm actually, my work's in progress. so many, and I do just sometimes have to focus on something instead of just working on about 10 different things. So I'm really focusing on the Christmas stocking at the moment. I will definitely be posting that in the next video. If you've got any recommendations for Christmas stocking patterns, I'd be really interested, particularly ones that have wildlife and animals on them, just because that's a real love of mine, especially owls. I am very much into owls. I know I'm going to be able to show you, my birthday is the week running up to Christmas, and my boyfriend has definitely got me, because he couldn't keep it to himself, the Lord of the Rings knitting book. He's got me stunning yarn from Virtual Yarns. So you know Alice and Jade Starmore, they are amazing Hebridean yarns. He has got me Soul and Goose and petrol, um anyway, it's a dark blue and a kind of off-white from Virtual Yarns, and it's specifically for, they've got these fingerless mitts with, I think it's the Rohan, I'm trying to remember now. um Anyway, I'm going to be able to update you on that. So I'm hoping to do one before that, but maybe not. So next episode, I might be able to show you some stunning Hebridean yarn and the amazing fingerless mitts from Lord of the Rings that I'm going to do. I'm so excited about that. I'm a massive Lord of the Rings Hobbit fan, basically Tolkien. Um, all things high fantasy. I am a massive Robin Hobb fan. Any Robin Hobb fans watching this, and I say that, and there's about 5 people who watch this, so that would be unusual. But if you're into Robin Hobb, please tell me, because I am obsessed. So yeah, I'm gonna finish up now. This was just a really quick update. I think I'll do slower, more thought out episodes in December, but I partly just wanted to film and get a video up because I left it so long, and I thought, just do one. Doesn't matter what you look like, you know, just get one out there, because once I've done that, I'll be back into the swing of it a little bit. I know that no one really watches these anyway, so there's no great harm in it. And then I'm going to get proper software and start uploading more regularly so that I can be a bit more consistent, and hopefully my podcast will be a bit more interesting and useful to people. But even if there are 5 of us and we start up a conversation, that would make me so happy. I just want to connect with other knitters from all over the world. It's such a lovely community, the knitting community, and I just want to be a part of it in whatever way that I can. So thank you for watching. Stay tuned. Please subscribe. Please like the videos, because I think more people see it if you do that. And yeah, just thank you so much. Please put in the comments if there's anything that I talked about too fast, any of the yarns you're interested in, anything like that. Please do let me know, and I will definitely get back to you. So thank you so much again for watching.